Welcome back to the Anime Sports International Network. My name is Atana Bacon. We're here once again to talk about all the events that happened in the year of 2017, everything that is related to anime. With me today is the professor of the Otsunozaki High School for School Idols, 8-Bit Kevin. 8-Bit, how are you?
I'm happy to pleasure you, but it's a pleasure to be here, Bacon.
Great to have you back. All right. Our anime this year held their annual Best Girl contest. Joy56 was the original CEO, taking control of the first two contests, but then had to recently step down for misconduct within the sub. Now, with this year's contest of 2017, the finals were really interesting, wouldn't you say, Kevin?
Yeah, they were pretty interesting. Definitely a lot of unexpected things happen.
Okay, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on Rin Tosaka beating Yui Gahama by more than 5,000 votes? Was that hardly a contest?
No, not at all. I mean, Rin Tosaka it's a timeless best girl. To many people with the Fate series, she has a strong fandom behind her.
Is that including you? Did you vote for her?
Oh yeah, of course. I voted for Rin. Rin over Yui just because I thought that Yui wasn't as strong as Rin in terms of what Rin had to offer to the table.
Right. Okay, so with that in mind, let's take a look at the rookies that entered for this year. So look at, let's say the top 60 seeds, because we know no girl below a 60 seed is going to get their chance at the finals. 25% of those girls in the top 60 were all rookies. We're talking girls from Konosuba, Re:Zero, Boku no Hero Academia. So how do you feel about something known as the recency bias? Now, we know Megumin, #1 seed. Was that a well-deserved spot?
Oh yeah, for sure. When you look at Megumin's season with Konosuba, you could tell in the R Anime subreddit and probably any other place that you go to, like maybe a convention, you could see cosplays of Megumin, you could see references with the explosions, right. She was definitely a strong force.
Was that because she was more of a meme, or was she a legitimate best girl? Because in my opinion, I felt like Rem should have at least had the #1 spot, even though she was #2 seed.
I think it helped a lot for Megumin to be very memeable. She just has the one quote explosion and then she kind of just passes out. But Rem definitely, for sure, she was one of the best girls in terms of quality. She was behind Subaru throughout the entire season, or not the entire season, but when she started catching feelings.
And she doesn't have a meme surrounding her, because when you think Re:Zero memes, you think I Love Amelia, which, by the way, Amelia was the #4 seed as well. So
I'm really surprised with that. I'm really surprised with that seeding. Yeah. Just because Amelia, I don't know, she wasn't very present in her own show.
Oh yeah, well that's the joke. People say she didn't really do much.
She didn't, and somehow she got this seeding just based off her appearance.
Is that out of pity?
No, I honestly think that people just based off her appearance and her maybe like 10 minutes in the entire season just thought, hey, she's a best girl for whatever.
I like how you mentioned the amount of time this character got in the season, because this is a little off topic, but you have girls like Mosquito Girl from One Punch Man being in one of the top 200 seeds, and she only had less than an episode to herself, and yet she got past eliminations. What are your thoughts on that?
You have to look at it kind of from the perspective of the anime viewers. Right. Like with Megumin, memes are very strong. With someone like
but this isn't the most memeable girl. It's the best girl of the season.
It is best girl of the season. Right. But with Mosquito Girl, she got in there probably because of her appearance as a human, and people are like, oh man.
It's like the new cat girl. But no, we have bug girls now and monster girls. It's because it's like a trending thing now.
Monster girls just in general.
Okay.
They're on the rise.
Okay, so Senjo Gahara, a frequent finalist, was not able to compete in this year's contest, stirring controversy, mainly because she was in the best character contest before this, and she ended up winning it. A lot of people are mad about this because they think that Senjo Gahara being in the contest would have changed the entire outcome, maybe even making her win the entire thing, which I don't think would have happened. So what are your thoughts on that?
I honestly think that best character and best girl contest, they're two separate entities. If you win best character, that doesn't guarantee you're gonna win best girl. Right. You're voting on two different aspects. Best character, I feel like you're voting kind of just all around. What are they good in the story? Are they good as a character? Do they interact well with everyone? I feel like with best girl, it's just kind of like, oh, this is my favorite.
Right. And well, in my opinion, okay, so best character contest, I don't think everyone keeps up with that as much as best girl, because you can clearly see a lot
for sure.
A lot more people are passionate about best girl. I'll be honest with you, winning the best character contest, that's like winning the Crunchyroll contest. Nobody cares, and it doesn't count.
I think that's a fair thing to say. Best girl holds way more weight than best characters.
Exactly.
And it's odd to say, but it's true.
I guess it's worth mentioning that in the first 2 years, she did end up reaching into the final rounds, but ended up losing. So I think the same thing would happen this year. So.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I think the competition was really fierce this year.
Right, for sure. And we have a call coming in now. We have Shocking 807 here to talk about what her thoughts are on the entire contest. How are you doing today, Shaw?
Great. Thanks so much for having me.
Good. We're glad to have you here. So, first of all, as someone who's in charge of the Best Girl Contest, what are your overall thoughts of the 2017 season of the Best Girl Contest?
You know, I was actually really surprised with how much bigger it got compared to the other years, because I think it was pretty big. The first year it came out, I guess that's like 3 or 4 years now. It's so insane. First, like 3 or 4 years ago, it was pretty big. And then the second year it was really big. And by big, I mean like 20,000 people voted in the finals. Big. And then the third year it was a bit like smaller, like still a couple, like let's say like 15,000 people voted in the finals, but then this year again it was like back to being really huge. I think it was actually over 20,000 people voted in the finals, but I don't have the exact numbers for that. But it was bigger than the second year, so I was pretty surprised and happy to see so many people were getting into it.
Was that mainly because more people's favorite girls were competing during that year? Maybe because girls like Rem or maybe girls like Megumi coming out as rookies, everyone else must have been in agreement that those girls should be the next ones to maybe reach the finals. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that could be a big influence on it, because last year was a pretty big year of Best Girl Wars with Megumi and Rem. Like, ReZero and Konosuba were pretty big, let's say, waifu heavy shows. Like, they're pretty heavy on that. And I guess the year before, there wasn't as much to add to the pile of waifus, the waifu pile. But I think...
So the rookies kind of changed the game at most because it gave them more options. Would you say that a lot of people are sick of the exact same girls making it to the finals?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Everyone... That's been the major complaint, is everyone is kind of... Everyone who's participated year after year is kind of tired of knowing who the like final 8 will be kind of before it happens. But funny enough, the third Best Girl contest, which was like probably the most crazy in terms of the shocking finals, everyone was complaining about how they knew who would be in. And then as soon as we get a really unpredictable finals with Megumin from Shokugeki and Misaka from the Raildex series.
From Raildex,
everyone was
that was the
enraged.
That was the first time the final round was determined by 2 characters that had a double-digit seed.
Yeah, exactly. That was like a huge upset, and it was only by like less than 100 votes each. But you know, it's funny because everyone was like, you know, oh, we know who the finals will be. It'll be the same people. And then when it was completely different, everyone was like outraged. So, you know, you lose and you lose no matter what.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, so I need to address this because this was a big thing from this year, the Senjo Gahara controversy. Now, if I was getting this correct, the Senjo Gahara was not able to compete mainly because she won the Best Character contest. Is that true?
Yeah. Yes, that's correct.
So, do you think if she was allowed to compete, things would have played out differently?
Looking back on it, I do think it would play out a bit differently. It was definitely a mixed bag on removing her, because I think some people were less interested in the contest because she wasn't participating, and a lot of people don't participate in Best Girl. I mean, in Best Character, and they do compete in Best Girl.
Well,
so
Best Girl is a lot more popular, obviously, because that's what a lot more people are passionate about. Just look at how much traffic you're getting with the Best Guy contest.
Yeah, exactly.
Clearly not close at all.
Yeah, exactly. So I think people could definitely feel a bit cheated, but then on the other side, it kind of goes back to the group of people who want to see different people in the finals. So in a way, taking Senjo Gahara out gave a chance for someone else who we probably wouldn't have seen go farther than usual. So
okay, that's fair.
So another Monogatari character was able to take her spot and have a chance at winning, which I think is kind of cool. But I mean, the outrage is pretty fair. Like, if Senjo Gahara is your best girl and she can't participate, you know, it kind of sucks, but
Well,
like,
the thing is, with any of the Monogatari girls, if I remember correctly, none of them have been able to secure a win for their own franchise at all. So it's at the point where, if they're not able to secure a win, it's as if that they're not really deemed as best girl at all, and they should be shunned out of the contest, in my opinion. You know, you had your time, you had as many chances as you had. They're kind of like the Buffalo Bills. You reach the final rounds 4 times in a row and can't secure a win. Yeah, you're done for the next decade. We're not going to see you for a while, because now the rookies that are coming out the gate, they're going to change the entire game. I guarantee it.
yeah, I mean, it really does come down to like the voters, because it's, you know, that's kind of feeds into the whole like recency bias versus like
Right,
older
exactly.
shows controversy, which I think it's always going to be a constant battle, because you can't help new
But
things.
that's a
but-
completely different, you know, argument.
Yeah.
We're talking about shows in general, and yeah, that's a conversation for something else. So one last thing before we go, because I know that the amount of sodium chloride is building up within all the voters as they're listening to this. One last question. Should traps be allowed to compete? What is your opinion on that?
So I do allow, like, females who, like, the reverse traps allowed, because, you know, I'm not
Exactly.
perfect. I am not a perfect judge of Chinese cartoon genders. I really just try and go for, like,
I don't think
what
anyone
are the...
is.
I don't know if you can get, like, be an expert in that, but I am not. And, you know,
Right.
I really just go for, like, what seems to be the most fitting, like, what does the character identify as? What do they, like, seem to fit? What gender do they seem to fit closest to? So reverse traps are girls who appear to be guys, but they are identified as females. So I allow them in. If when it comes to, I guess, more traditional traps, which are the males that look females, you know,
Right.
it might be kind of unfair to put them in the best guy contest, because people will just kind of vote for them because they look like girls. That's another salty special for another day that we
Of
can
course.
talk about.
I
But
completely
yeah,
agree.
but I think, you know, you can't, ultimately, I can't really control why people are voting for the characters they do, but I do want to create an environment that lets them vote based on what they think the best girl is.
All right, that's good to know. Shocking 807, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you keep up to date with her and the rest of the Best Girl contest and all the other contests that will be happening there. Thank you for joining us, Shaw.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so we're going to cut to commercial break real quick to take a look of our sponsors, and then we'll be back with our top 10 anime moments of 2017. Take a look.
この番組はマンナメイ TV ご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。
We're back with the top 10 anime moments of 2017. Let's start from the bottom with number 10. Yukihiro Soma takes first place in sales ranking in the Moon Banquet Festival, upsetting the Kuga restaurant.
Soma and his team did a great job. Without his team, I don't know if Soma could have done it.
Yeah, it was a really close one, but you got to hand it to them. They did a really good job putting together a ragtag team in order to be a well-experienced veteran team, so good on them. Soma will go on to face Aizen Ezio in an unofficial Shokugeki. Number 9. Our anime moderator showing some outstanding discipline as one of their users reposts the Shelter music video in celebration of its 1-year anniversary. Moderators stood back and did not take down the video, of course preventing the backlash that they experienced last year. Really good job on their part.
Oh man, last year that was really messy. Good thing that didn't happen again. I don't know if they'd survive another hit like that.
Number 8. Kageguri, where Russian roulette's really popular in the female bathroom. This character here has an excessive celebration after a 1 in 6 chance of dying passes her by. I mean, look at the technique, the way she uses that magnum.
Oh,
Wow. Really scary moment there, but clearly enjoying the sport that she's in, and of course, really loving the life that she's living right now, and I have nothing else to say about that.
oh, just look at that technique. Look at that technique.
We hope to see more of her later on in the next coming seasons. Number 7. The SOS Brigade reunites after 11 years. They go on to perform the famous ending Hare Hare Yukai. Really great to see them together, isn't it?
I mean, it is. After 11 years, who would have thought they would have reunited just to do this?
Number 6. Eren Yeager's takedown against the Armored Titan. Eren Yeager showing clear training and discipline, being able to take down the Armored Titan in one motion. Really good job on his part.
I mean, he also had some great assistance by Mikasa
Yeah, really strong team building right there. Hope to see more of their teamwork in the near future. The fight is deemed as a draw due to outside interference from the Colossal Titan. Number 5. Goku showing that he still has it by unlocking his Ultra Instinct power. Goku continues to gain more abilities than he can count, and he will go on to continue fighting Jiren on a toe-to-toe level in this fight. What do you think of this one?
Just look at him. He just looks ready to fight. He looks very focused, fine-tuned instincts. I guess that's why they call it Ultra Instinct. And look at it here. 2v1 on Goku. Goku sees them coming, and all of a sudden, just catches them right in front of him.
Number 4. Congratulations to Kizuna Ai and Aki Dearest for reaching the 1 million subscriber club. 2 more anime YouTubers are once again making history. Is there any anime YouTubers that you're thinking, 8-Bit, that might reach the 1 million subscriber count?
I'm seeing potential in Mother's Basement reaching that 1 million mark. Who knows?
On a side note, Ivan Gigak's channel got very close to reaching the 1 million subscriber mark, but sadly he'd have to wait till 2018 to fully celebrate his success. We will be there for that. Congrats, man. Number 3. Young Nata is showing us how it's done by showing us how to eat an egg properly.
Oh man, look at that technique. She's got that down. Oh, look at that tongue movement.
A lot of that training is really going to help with her in the near future, and I could guarantee it.
We look forward to seeing that.
Number 2. Aqua performing Mai Mai tonight and Kimi no Kokomo in the same day in 2 different locations. A feat that takes a lot of energy.
As you can see, they've been practicing for a long time. They got this down. They know what they're doing. Their outfits are absolutely spectacular, and their hair is just amazing. And I can't wait to see more of these outfits in the future.
Yeah, this just shows that they're really doing their best to come together and show that they are an idol group that will shock the world. Aqua will go on to pass the Love Live qualifiers.
And please don't forget, Kanan is best girl.
And number 1. Deku and Todoroki's final attack causes referees to step in to stop the fight. Boy, was this a matchup of the century.
It was absolutely insane. They could have died, but you know, they just somehow survived this. And I just can't believe it.
Yeah, really good job to the referees on their end. Todoroki will go on to win this matchup and go on to the final round against Bakugo. That does it for this year's Top 10 Anime Moments. Up next, spoilers in a movie premiere. We'll let you know which anime company was dumb enough to pull that one off. Stay tuned.
Yo, Steve Bloom here, voice of Spike Spiegel, Mugen from Samurai Champloo, Starscream from Transformers Prime, etc., etc., etc. And you're watching Anime TV.
Alright, time for our lightning round. 8-Bit, the one question that everyone's thinking about right now. 2017, what is the best anime of 2017?
Oh man, I gotta give it to Made in Abyss.
Right.
It was a journey through and through, made you laugh, made you cry. You know, a lot of suspenseful moments, pretty dark. Came from nowhere and just, you know, surprised everyone.
Right. Not many people knew about it until around 3 or 4 episodes when a lot of people started talking about it, and that's what surprised a lot of us, including myself.
Yeah, I mean, it lived up to the hype that people were bringing to it for those 3 and 4 episodes. So if you haven't watched it, I highly recommend watching it.
All right, all right. What about sequels? I know we try not to count sequels too much. Is there a sequel that sticks out in your mind as the best of the year?
Oh man, so I think the top 3 sequels from this past year were probably Attack on Titan Season 2, Konosuba, and Boku no Hero Academia.
Right.
But I gotta give it to Boku no Hero. It was consistently strong throughout the entire series.
Right, right.
For Attack on Titan, there was a lot of hype, you know, because it took a while for us to get this second season.
They made us wait too long, honestly.
It was a long time, and I
Right.
wouldn't say it was a bad sequel. I would just say that Boku no Hero was just stronger. And then as for Konosuba, it was more of what we wanted, which isn't bad. Don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah, more
But
hijinks.
it didn't quite improve on what it had.
Right. Like there's not much to offer more with a sitcom like Konosuba.
Exactly, but those 3 sequels were great. Don't get me wrong.
An honorable mention, any thoughts on what KyoAni put out this year? They ended up putting out Kobayashi Maid Dragon, which a lot of people deemed as probably the most aesthetically pleasing anime because, come on, it's KyoAni. Like,
I gotta say, it's
adorable
world class.
characters.
That's what I gotta say. I mean,
Right.
You got a great series with some wholesome characters, some great Yuri subtext.
A lot of Yuri
subtext,
yes.
actually.
Oh, yeah.
And then, you just got some good comedy.
All right, now, so I noticed that we barely mentioned Love Live Sunshine Season 2 because clearly that's not the best anime of the year, but I gotta ask you now, with Aqua announcing their third live next year in the beginning of summer, I need to ask you now, with this much momentum, who do you think is better, Aqua or Muse?
What do you think I work? Of course I'm gonna choose Muse.
Oh, come on, why is that?
Well, when you think about it, Muse are the originals. They set the tone for the entire school idol thing.
Right.
And
well, it's their first time doing that, though. That's the thing. They're the first ones. Of course, it has to get better from this point out.
well, yeah, of course. I mean, of course, Awkward is just going to get better, but Muse is
Yeah,
timeless.
Well, their music, to me, just has a lot more impact than Muse. Okay, in my opinion, Muse has a better story in the anime, but if you look at their live shows, there's already so much momentum following Aqua. Yes, they're young. Yes, there's a lot of pressure. Yes, they're inexperienced, but they could only get better.
But what about the Rikaku incident?
Oh,
they messed up the solo on
please,
Omoyo.
don't mention that. Here's the thing about the Rikaku incident. That solidified how close Aqua really is together. When that incident took place, and yes, that is the only time in Love Live history that a show had to come to a screeching halt. They were very professional on how they handled it. Aichan running up to Rikaku, calming her down, and almost too quickly getting back into the song and playing the part correctly, thus making the show so much more emotional. So with this right now, it just shows that Aqua has so much potential within them. They are going to push the Love Live franchise beyond what is imaginable. I guarantee you, they're going to do more lives. They're going to have a much more successful run than Muse. I guarantee it, 8-Bit. I guarantee it.
Okay.
Just because Muse started it doesn't mean they perfected it. The idol culture in Japan is very strong, but Aqua is going to make quite a statement in the next couple of years. I guarantee you. They're going to take over Tokyo. They're going to take over the Tokyo Dome. They're taking over everything. I'm telling you. Best girls, yo. Just letting you know. Okay, moving on. Sentai Filmworks is under hot water right now after a huge backlash with the showing of No Game No Life Zero after they showed 25 minutes of untagged spoilers at the beginning before the movie even starts. Resources say that it was 25 minutes of dub actors telling about all the emotions and key plot points of the movie itself, thus spoiling it for the entire theater. I mean, you were there, 8-Bit, sitting next to you. What did you think of that whole thing? The movie was ruined. Would you say so? Your experience is ruined.
I would say that it was definitely ruined to an extent. It just was a mess. You know, you had everyone going in to watch the movie expecting just to dive in, no spoilers.
Right.
But then you get this 25 minutes of just, you know, like you said, untagged spoilers, and you had people leaving the theater, you had people on their phones wanting to just not even pay attention. There wasn't even a point to having this 25 minutes in there.
I was on Instagram the whole time, and I was putting my earplugs in.
Yeah, no one wanted to listen to it, so there was no point. This was pretty much like, what, Blu-ray, DVD extra, featurettes?
And it was the dub actors. Now, I'm not hating on dub actors, but if I'm at the subtitled showing, I would at least want to see what the Japanese voice actors have to say about their role. I mean, come on, they're the actual characters that put the most emotion into their performances. Now, of course, anyone would say that stuff would be nice to see at the end of the movie, but we all know what we wanted to see at the end of the movie was maybe more No Game No Life Season 2.
Exactly.
Sentai Filmworks has yet to release a statement on this whole thing. Have you lost a little bit of faith in Sentai because of this?
I haven't. It was a mistake, and I hope they don't do it again. I hope they heard the fans, and that this won't continue for whatever movies that they put out. This was a horrible mistake.
So hopefully they don't do this again in the near future, but from what it says right now, the No Game No Life Zero movie, we're not sure if those exact spoilers will be done again at the beginning. That's clearly a mistake on the theater, so hopefully this won't happen again anytime soon. Alright, moving on. Harrowing and sad news in the Far East. Creator of the Rurouni Kenshin series, Nobuhiro Watsuki, has been caught with child pornography and is now in custody. Resources say that Nobuhiro, with the possession of child pornography, now has to bring the Rurouni Kenshin series to a halt, including the manga itself, as well as the live-action movies. resources also say that all of his assistants, as well as relations and editors to his manga, are not coming out with any statements. So, A-Bit, very sad news to hear. Also, it's just very, I don't know. I'm at a loss for words right now. This is completely unacceptable to any creator.
It's disappointing. It's completely disappointing.
Exactly.
I mean, a lot of us in the anime community have grown up during the Toonami generation, and we probably watched Rurouni Kenshin through and through, and you know, you watch Samurai X and stuff like that, and it's just a damn shame, you know, like why did this even happen in the first place?
And exactly, how long was this going for?
Yeah, how
Did this
long?
happen after the success? Did some of the funding that he got from this in order to pay for his own life went into this so-called hobby of his, if you even want to call it a hobby? But it is very sad to know. But if it doesn't mean anything, Nobuhiro came out with a statement expressing deep regret. So although he does regret this whole thing, it also shows that he's also regretful maybe because he was caught. I mean, let's be honest here.
I mean, you're
caught.
only sorry if you got caught, man.
That's usually how it is. Very, very sad stuff.
And I don't know. I just feel like you should stop supporting this just because you know you can't keep exploiting children.
It just
like
brings
that.
up more questions as well as well. Of course, we're all hoping that nothing this terrible will affect anyone else in the anime and manga industry, and hopefully none of our favorite authors are under such scrutiny as well, because this just looks really bad on the anime community. It looks bad on the manga community. It looks bad in general just for creators. So all that we could say is we could just wait and hope for the best for the future of everyone. Alright, and lastly, live actions. That's what was going on this year. A lot of those caught our attention. Of course, we had the Death Note live action making a splash on Netflix, or hardly a splash on Netflix, and then we had the Ghost in the Shell live action. A lot of people were very indifferent about the choice of the lead actress, and of course we had the JoJo live action, which many of us have yet to see but have very high hopes for. What are your thoughts on this year's live action films?
In terms of Hollywood,
oh yeah,
there we go.
Right.
I just, you know, Hollywood, you got to get your shit straight. If you got to treat these anime and manga adaptations like they're comic book adaptations, you know, you gotta treat them with respect. You know,
right.
For a lot of people, they think that, you know, you just need the right actor for the job. Me, I think you need to cast more accurately and find the right actor for the job. I mean,
and tell the story properly as well.
And tell the story properly. I mean, we're in the United States.
Right.
It's a big melting pot of, you know, different ethnicities and cultures.
Right.
There's no way that there's not enough Asian people that could be part of these movies. Like, are you kidding me?
Oh yeah. I'm in full agreement with that, especially since the sources come from the Far East. Now, probably the only thing I could say positive about all the live actions was maybe if you look at the Death Note live action, William Dafoe playing Ryuk, hell, William Dafoe looks like Ryuk in real life. That was great casting on there.
I mean, to be fair, he was pretty good casting.
Yeah, and he sounded, you know, crazy looking, but I couldn't stand the rest of Death Note. I had to stop, and I couldn't handle it.
Just in general, I think that, you know, Japanese live actions may be superior to the English live actions, but, you know, you don't know until you actually watch it.
I'm in full agreement. You know what? We are all out of time now here, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us here at the Anime Sports International Network, 8-Bit. Thank you for joining us today. We really appreciate your presence here. Hopefully see you guys again next year for 2018. We look forward to all the anime that's coming up. Be safe out there. Stay gold.